Anthony Joshua just ducked Deontay Wilder again. Okay, he's supposedly fighting some guy named Christian Prenga on July 25th. That's going to be his comeback fight after he knocked out Jake Paul. Because remember, Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident where two of his best friends unfortunately passed away. Anthony Joshua did survive the car accident and he did not have any major injuries, right? But this is the same Anthony Joshua that showed up to Deontay Wilder's recent fight against Derek Chisora. When Deontay Wilder first walked into the arena, he walked right past Anthony Joshua, who seemed to be waiting for Deontay Wilder to walk up to him because it looked like AJ was kind of pressing Wilder for a fight. So Wilder walks past him, doesn't acknowledge him before the fight happens. AJ looks down at his phone. And then after Deontay Wilder wins the fight by split decision, Deontay Wilder walks out of the ring, walks right up to Anthony Joshua and says, "Let's do it." Anthony Joshua doesn't say anything back. Reporters are asking him, "Hey AJ, do you want to fight Wilder next?" Anthony Joshua did not say a word. And then Eddie Hearn comes out and says, "Oh, we'll make the fight happen between AJ and Wilder. Deontay Wilder will be a tune-up for Tyson Fury." So my question to Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua is, why is Anthony Joshua fighting this guy that I've never heard of, Christian Prenga? I've never heard of this guy, instead of Deontay Wilder. If you feel like Deontay Wilder is a tune-up, then why is AJ not fighting Wilder? We were supposed to get the fight between AJ and Wilder 10 years ago, bruh. This is why boxing is a dying sport. This is why people don't watch boxing like they used to in the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s. Because we get a bunch of fights that nobody cares about, bruh. Look how long we had to wait for Floyd Mayweather to fight Manny Pacquiao. And that fight turned out to be a failure. It was not entertaining. It was boring. It sucked. Look how long we had to wait to get Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Bud Crawford. The fight didn't live up to the expectations. Terrence Bud Crawford put belt to ass on Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is returning to the ring for the first time in 3 years against Tim Tszyu. Come on, man. This is the problem with boxing. We want to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. We want to see Gervonta Tank Davis versus Devin Haney. But you know why it's not happening, bro? Because there's a lot of boxers out there, bro, that are cowards. They don't care about fighting the best competition. They care about making the most money and taking the least amount of risk possible. And listen, bro, I don't think Anthony Joshua is a guy that ducks people. Anthony Joshua has a better resume than Deontay Wilder. But there's something about Deontay Wilder that puts the fear of God into Anthony Joshua. Now, some people might come out and say, "Oh, well, AJ signed a contract and Wilder signed a contract to fight each other, but Deontay Wilder lost to Joseph Parker. That's why it didn't happen." The fight could have happened anyway. The contracts were already signed. Who cares if Wilder lost? Deontay Wilder and Wilder, they both have multiple losses on their resume. Who cares if Wilder lost? Deontay Wilder has 4 losses. And Anthony Joshua, let me look it up real quick. Stay with me. Anthony Joshua, both of these guys got 4 losses. They both got 4 losses on their resume. So what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Who cares? We've seen Wilder and AJ get dropped. We've seen Wilder and AJ lose. Who cares if Deontay Wilder lost to Joseph Parker? We still could have gotten the fight. But the reality of the situation is, guys, is Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, they've never had any interest in fighting Deontay Wilder from the start. Anthony Joshua made it clear to Eddie Hearn that he doesn't have any intention of ever fighting Wilder because Anthony Joshua fears Deontay Wilder's right hand. Even against his fight against Derek Chisora, right? For all of the people that don't like Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder is one of my favorite. He's probably my favorite heavyweight boxer of all time. I don't care what y'all say. Yeah, he got the draw against Fury. He lost twice. I don't give a fuck, bro. The kind of guy I am, bro, is I support my boxer whether they win or lose. Just like I'm still an Errol Spence fan. Just like I'm still a Adrian Broner fan. I don't switch up on my boxer because they lose once, twice, or 5 times. I don't care. I stick with my boxers. But the reality of the situation is this, bro. Wilder has the biggest KO ratio in heavyweight boxing history for a reason. You watch that fight against him and Derek Chisora, that was a very entertaining fight, bro. I really did enjoy that fight between Wilder and Derek Chisora. But for the first time in years, we actually saw flashes of Deontay Wilder's power against Derek Chisora. Not only was he landing that right hand and dropping Derek Chisora, but he was even throwing left hooks that was rocking Derek Chisora. And for the first time, we finally got to see flashes of the Bronze Bomber. I think that Deontay Wilder could have knocked out Derek Chisora, but he chose not to because he has a lot of respect for Derek Chisora. He's friends with Derek Chisora. He was thinking about Derek Chisora's kids. It was his last fight. Now, I think that's soft. When you're a boxer, I don't think any of those things matter. I think Deontay Wilder should have made a statement, but I don't think Wilder would have that same type of I don't think he would have that same type of respect for Anthony Joshua, because Wilder and AJ, they really don't like each other. Wilder knows that AJ's scared of him. AJ doesn't like the fact that Wilder keeps telling everybody that he's scared of him. But guys, at some point we have to stop being insane about this. These guys are never gonna fight. Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, they're never going to fight because Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, they just, bro, they don't want to go to sleep at night knowing that Deontay Wilder knocked out Anthony Joshua. And it's sad because when you look at Wilder, he's not even 50% of what he used to be before that trilogy with Tyson Fury. You go back and look at Wilder's fights before the 3 fights with Tyson Fury. Wilder was an absolute menace, bro. This dude, bro, do you guys remember when Wilder did the Euro step and then knocked out Bermane Stiverne? That's my favorite boxing fight of all time, bro. Like, he fought Bermane Stiverne the first time. He won the fight by decision. Then they had a rematch and Wilder dropped him. Then Bermane Stiverne stood back up and he immediately ran towards him, hit a James Harden Manu Ginobili Euro step, and then knocked his ass out with the right hand. Bruh, Wilder is nothing like that anymore, bruh. This new Deontay Wilder is throwing UFC punches, rabid punches. You know what I'm saying? Like Wilder, he's just not what he used to be, bro. All of that aggressiveness, all of that testosterone, bro, it's just not there anymore, bro. I think those 3 fights with Tyson Fury really took everything out of Wilder. But one thing that he still has is that power. If he throws that right hand and he can land clean, he still has the ability to knock anybody out. You understand what I'm saying? And I think because AJ and Eddie Hearn saw that with Wilder's fight against Chisora, they just didn't want to take the risk, bro. They didn't want to take the risk of losing to Wilder. And because the reality of the situation is AJ's going to make more money in the UK fighting Tyson Fury than he would fighting Wilder. Now, I think that AJ versus Wilder is a bigger fight, especially if it's in America, if they do it in Las Vegas. I think that fight's bigger than AJ versus Tyson Fury. But in the UK, because over there in the UK, boxing is more popular in the UK in 2026 than it is in America. They have more people show up to the fights in the UK versus America. That is a bigger fight. Over here in America, bro, we don't give a fuck about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. We don't care. We rather see AJ versus Jake Paul than Tyson Fury. We don't care. We don't care. And I just seen Tyson Fury's last fight. He looked horrible. He looked terrible. Whatever he was putting in his gloves when he fought Wilder, he's clearly not doing it anymore. Because that man looked like complete shit in his most recent fight that just happened. So this is the problem with boxing. I'm not watching AJ versus Fury. I'm not watching AJ versus whoever this nigga is. Probably a part-time Uber driver, part-time boxer. I've never in my life heard of any boxer named Christian Prenga. I'm not watching it. And now we know, guys, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, they're full of shit. That whole AJ pulling up the Wilder's fight and having AJ look like he was pressing Wilder, they just did that for clout, bro. They never had any intention of fighting Deontay Wilder, and they just exposed themselves for being liars and frauds. And with that being said, it's your boy Days. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, click that hype button for your boy, leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.